Let's see if I am worthy of owning these books. Hey there, today I have a CGC unboxing, and in this video I'm going to open up a small handful of comics that I sent to CGC for their Signature Series event, specifically to get Walt Simonson's signature. I had a small number of Thor books. Simonson's been a lifelong hero of mine in terms of just art and storytelling, and just being one of the all-time great creators. And remember early on, just his style for me was just so recognizable. I knew exactly when I was looking at Simonson art or even reading a Simonson story. And when this Signature Series event came up, the other thing that came to mind was the fact that his signature is actually quite recognizable. And so I'm really excited to open up this submission of books that I sent in. And before I did send them also to the Palm Beach presser who worked on these books very generously, and I really appreciate his collaboration and working with me on these. I not only send him my raw comics for cleaning and pressing, but also for any Signature Series event that I participate in, I would rather send my books to Palm Beach Pressing than pay the extra fee to have CCS or CGC Pressing work on my books. Palm Beach also creates the window bags for me, so I really, really appreciate all of his effort and everything he puts into my submissions to try and get the best grade possible, so thank you. You can check out Palm Beach Presser at palmbeachpresser.com. Now, end to end, I waited about 3 to 4 months to submit these books and get them completely back in my possession. So I've been looking forward to this for quite a long time. Most of these books I have owned for a long time, but one book in particular I picked up at auction, and it should be very recognizable. It's a book that I coveted for a long time and never owned a copy, and when I won it at auction, I definitely knew that I was going to submit it for this Signature Series event. I think I got it at a good deal, at a condition that was a little better than advertised and had a lot of potential to get a grade bump if in the right hands, and I believe Palm Beach Presser has those right hands. Well, I guess he has a left and a right. As always, I don't look at the grades beforehand. I do have the Palm Beach Presser's grading estimates, so I will go through his grader notes and estimates as I reveal the books and the grades to you. And now it's finally time to open up this submission of books that I sent in for the Walt Simonson CGC Signature Series. Okay, here we go. And like I said, what I'm going for are grade bumps, condition improvements, things of that nature. Of course, 9.8s are always welcome. That's the grade, obviously, I'm going for. But there's something about the Signature Series, too, that while a signed book from a creator like Walt Simonson on a 9.8 is very, very special, some of these books, it's just a way for me to kind of capture a little bit of comic book history. These are all Thor books. Simonson so closely aligned with Thor, really transforming the character when he took over the Thor title and went on an epic and significant and really changed the character and storytelling, and just the chances that Simonson took on the book and the characters that he introduced. Always really kind of admired that. And like I said, just stylistically, one of my favorite all-time artists. So to get his signature on books that he's so well known for and associated with just makes it that much more special. Okay, here we go. The first book up in this Signature Series is Thor 271. This is from 1978. And while this is not part of that epic Thor run that I was just talking about, this is one of Simonson's very early Thor covers. And I thought that this book in particular had a little bit of potential. I originally assessed this book as a 9.0. Palm Beach said that there is some light wear at the spine corners, light staining and scratches at the bottom edge back cover, and he estimated a 9.4 for this book. And with these Signature Series books, you're seeing the signature as well, hopefully, before I can. So I'm really anxious to start looking at these. So here we go, Thor 271 from 1978. It got a 9.6. That is awesome. Great work, Palm Beach Presser, to bring this book up from a 9 all the way up to a 9.6 white pages. And I was mistaken. Not only is it one of Simonson's early Thor covers, he also did the interior pencils as well. But I love this. I thought it was so dynamic. You've got Iron Man, the Avengers, Nick Fury, all on this cover, and really, really loved it. And again, thought that it had a lot of potential here. Wow. So actually quite surprised, taking this all the way up from a 9, and then Palm Beach's estimate of a 9.4, getting this up to a 9.6. Of course, I have to do this because everyone else is talking about the bending of the books, and I'm inspecting it, and the book looks completely flat. The timing of this was, I believe these were encapsulated maybe after CGC was notified that some collectors were having issues with books being compressed or squeezed in the slab. But this looks really nice. The slab looks very clean, blemish free. I think the spine on the book looks really nice. There's no creasing to the edge or anything. And also looks nice in the yellow label. So I'm really happy about this one. What a great start. 9.6 on Thor 271 from 1978. The next book that I got signed is Thor 350 from 1984. Now, of course, this features Thor with Beta Ray Bill. Maybe that's a little foreshadowing of that very special book that I did get signed. But this milestone issue 350 features Thor and Beta Ray Bill on the cover. Purple background, just dynamic action shot of these two characters. I had originally assessed this book as a 9.6. Palm Beach Presser noted some light blunting of spine corners. He did estimate his grade of a 9.6 or 9.8. This was a book that I acquired quite a long time ago, and I remember grading it a long time ago, and so hopefully I was not too lenient on my own grading. I'm a little nervous on this one. I'm hoping it got the 9.8, but here we go. Thor 350 from 1984. It got 9.6, so right in line with Palm Beach's estimate, my original estimate of 9.6, and I think just looking at the books, there's a few color breaking ticks, and just some of the light blunting of the corner, just minor blunting of the corners, but still a great looking book. But man, I love this cover. It's not just the two characters. You have all of the artwork in the background as well. And just those elements of yellow on Thor and Beta Ray Bill's costume matching with that yellow label. Really great. 9.6 white pages on Thor 350. Okay, and now for the next one, we have Thor 339. This is from 1984. Another great Beta Ray Bill dynamic cover by Simonson. Similar to 350, I originally assessed this book as a 9.6. Palm Beach Presser's grader notes, he says it looks good. So I'm hoping that he's saying it has a chance at a 9.8. His grade estimate was 9.6 to 9.8. But again, just I don't know if I realized this, but just loving the yellow label matching the cover art on these. But here we go, Thor 339 from 1984, Signature Series label, and it got a 9.6. Keeping with the theme and consistency of this submission. Looks really nice. Love the signature placement right here under the trade. Walt Simonson's story, cover, and art as he took over complete control over the issue in terms of all of the storytelling and illustration. This is the first appearance of Stormbreaker, which of course became more well-known with the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame MCU feature films. And there was always that tease that Beta Ray Bill would show up. Was he going to show up in Thor Ragnarok? Just because he's such a beloved character. 9.6 white pages on Thor 339. And if you can see the cover for this one, you probably already know this book and its significance. And I'll do my best to cover the grade here so that none of us can see it. And it is Thor 337. from 1983, and this is Beta Ray Bill's first appearance and also first cover. Say what you will, iconic cover, well-known, desirable, recognizable cover, homaged cover, just one of the all-time greats. And so much significance here. Simonson taking over the title, Beta Ray Bill busting through the old trade as there would be new trade art on the books going forward. Just fantastic all around. And this was an issue of Thor of the Simonson run that I had never owned, and I picked it up at auction within the last year. And I knew as soon as I won it that this was going to be signed by Simonson. And it's not that I didn't care about the grade. I certainly did care about the grade and the condition, but I really felt like I got it at a good price. I had meticulously studied the scan, and I had assessed the book as an 8.0. And for me, at an 8.0 Signature Series, but also the kicker that this is a newsstand copy, for me, it was worth the additional time and investment to go ahead and get this book signed and slabbed. When you think of a particular creator, there's probably a handful of books that really you think about when you think about that creator. And this is one of those for me and for a lot of collectors and fans of Simonson and Thor and Beta Ray Bill. This is that book. So this is Thor 337 from 1983. I had originally assessed this book as a 8.0. Palm Beach Presser gave it a grade estimate of 9.6 with a tilde. So here we go. Let's see. No specific grade or notes otherwise on the book itself. Just the estimated grade that he provided. So here we go. Thor 337 from 1983, and it got a 9.2. So less than Palm Beach's estimate, but certainly a bump up from the 8.0 that it received. And just inspecting the book, and it looks great. Definitely see some improvements from its original condition, and just love that I finally have a copy of this. I was so excited to acquire the copy, but then also to get it signed by Mr. Simonson. So thank you, Walt Simonson, for having the Signature Series event at CGC and participating. Really appreciate your time there. Thank you, Palm Beach Presser, for working on these books. I love owning this a little bit of history of comic book art, storytelling, characters, getting these books signed. It really transforms them into an interesting collectible for me. Thanks for watching, happy collecting, and see you next time.